Hey guys, it's Toby here from CFS Health, and I just wanted to quickly jump on and do this video. And no hype, no bullshit. I'm just going to get straight to the point. And I think this is very important, and it's just been brought to my attention, so I wanted to jump on and just shoot this real fast for you. And this is this kind of merry-go-round that a lot of people experience, where they keep spending lots of money on doctors, supplements, medications, and specialists, and da 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 da. And you almost feel like you're wasting all this money. You probably feel guilty about it not working. You're going around in circles. You're not really getting progress, and sometimes you're even going backwards. And I'm not saying I'm against doctors or seeing doctors, actually, but hear me out and you'll understand. And if you can get this, this will be life-changing for you, because it was life-changing for me, and it's life-changing for a lot of our members. But the last 2 hours, I've just been going through all our applications for our online recovery program. So basically, if you want to join our program, you have to apply for it. You have to fill out a questionnaire. So we get to know you, we get to know your goals, we get to know your problems. We can see where you're stuck, we can see what you need help with, and we can see if we can help you move forwards. And I was reading this one lady's application just before, and she said, like, I'm a bit skeptical about, spending more money, and worried that it's not going to work, and that, it's just going to be another thing that I try that doesn't work for me. I've spent so much money on doctors and specialists and nothing's worked. And I thought, wow, this is such a true story for so many people. And here's the problem, and here's the difference. Spending money for things outside of yourself to fix you is very different than investing money in yourself to help yourself. And this doesn't have to be about money. It could just be about energy and focus as well, which is just as groundbreaking. So imagine this: if your focus is consistently outside of yourself for the answer to be fixed or to be cured, and you're left dry and you're left disappointed and you're less hopeless, because we know that there is no fast overnight pill, right? And if you focused your attention on and energy on what would help you, and helping yourself, and looking at different areas of holistic health that could maybe move you forwards to support you, to improve your immune system, to improve your sleep, to improve your emotions and your mindset, to improve your overall feeling of well-being, because most of the time, people are pushing and crashing and just not doing what's appropriate for them. And usually it's because they've been told the wrong things by people who don't understand what they're going through. And so, this is a very important topic. So there's a difference between putting money out to try and get something outside of yourself to fix you, versus investing in yourself to help yourself. Okay. And so I see this all the time. People feel so disappointed. I went through it. My parents spent thousands of dollars. I think we spent tens of thousands of dollars, and they had very little money. We had to remortgage our house for that. And so you'll do whatever it takes, right? And it wasn't until 2 years of doing that, and how exhausting and frustrating and disappointing it was, and how hopeless I felt, that I finally came to the realization and got to the point of suffering where I was like, wow, no one else can fix me but me. And I can get support and help, which I did. I continuously got support and help, but it wasn't from the point of, they need to fix me, or this needs to fix me. It was like, all right, how can I help myself? And, so a brilliant doctor, Dr. Lionel Lubitz, who then wrote the foreword for my book, which is sold out now, but, years ago when that was published, he wrote the foreword for the book. And he's a massive advocate for our program, because he knows it's safe and effective, and who else? I had a mentor, he was my chiropractor, but he was actually really a coach. Like, it was more, I was going to see him because he was giving me direction, and he was encouraging me, he was supporting me. And, I paid for that out of my own pocket. It's $50 a week or something back then, and which is probably equivalent like 150 now, maybe. And, that really kind of kept me going. And then I had, I had different aspects of help and support. The difference was, I wasn't looking for them to fix me. I was investing in them to help me help myself. And, and obviously I started to do the work, and I started to improve in all different areas of my life. And because of that, I, spent the last 10, 15 years developing this program and putting all the pieces together so you don't have to go through it alone, and you don't have to suffer on your own, and it doesn't have to be lonely and isolating, and you can just fast track everything so you don't have to figure it all out, figure out the errors and the trials that go with something as complex as chronic fatigue syndrome. And so recovery can be simplified. And, when you do the right things, there's some patterns there that really do work. And we see it every single week inside our program. But the main point I want to share with you is it's very different when you're investing in yourself for your health. And I know it's new for a lot of people, but even not on a monetary sense, but just in an energetic focus sense, where you put your energy and focus is going to determine what kind of results you'll get back. Like I said before, not against going to see a doctor, not against going to get support. However, look at the reasons why you're going there, and is it helpful or is it hindering you? I want to share with you this. So I just spent some time just kind of developing and thinking about, well, what is it that is actually really important for someone's journey? And when I looked back at my own, it was really just hope and positivity at the start, because I had none. Okay. I mean, that's the first and foremost thing that we all need. We need to have some form of hope and positivity, at least looking forwards. And that might be from inspiration from other people's recovery journey, watching other success stories. It might be noticing little bits of progress within yourself, but also looking at the answer from within versus trying to look out there and constantly disappoint yourself. And like I said, for me, it took me 2 years to get to that point of seeing literally hundreds of people, hundreds of blood tests, hundreds of everything. And it was the last point, basically, the last specialist, basically. And I thought that was the answer, and it wasn't after a while. He helped me a little bit, but it wasn't groundbreaking. And after that, I finally just figured it out. I was like, shit, no one's going to fix me but me. And it was such an empowering realization to get to that point, because finally it was up to me. It was the things that I did that were going to help me the most. And it was basically, what could I do within the 24 hours that I had every day that was going to really help me the most? And there are so many things you can do in those 24 hours, but here's some things that I've written down. You might be able to see this on the iPad, but hope and possibility, you need that. Empathy and understanding. Without empathy and understanding, and this is the problem, there's so many misconstrued ideas out there, and there's so many, oh, this is bad and that's bad and this bad. No, it's either wrongly prescribed or prescribed at the wrong time. The amount of people that come to us because their physiotherapist said, all right, go do graded exercise therapy, you've got to walk every day for 20 minutes. Well, that's just ridiculous. That's just such a generalization to someone when they don't know their stress levels, their sleep levels, where they're at. Movement might be the last thing that they need to be doing right now. Okay. And so it's really about having a flexible approach, but having the understanding and empathy is going to help with the building blocks of figuring out what you actually need to do. Okay. And, you can figure this stuff out yourself. It just takes a while, and it takes discipline, and it takes focus on what you really need to be putting your attention on versus all the stuff outside of you. An uplifting community. We obviously have a group inside our program, and the level of uplifting conversation is actually incredible. Every week I spend at least an hour or two inside the group to look through what everyone's commenting, some questions and some posts. And we have a wins check-in every single Friday, which I'll share with you in a second. I'll share with you some of the wins that these people are having and sharing inside the group. And so an uplifting communities is just so helpful to bounce ideas off each other and also move forwards. The other thing that you should be investing in is knowledge, learned information, frameworks, and empowerment. Have a think about that. Like the amount of times that I used to go to a doctor's clinic hoping just to get some form of answer, and then to be told, well, there's nothing wrong with you, go and eat well, and go for a walk and sleep well. It's like, well, how do I even do that? I don't even know what to eat. I don't even know how to sleep well. I'm stressing out over here, you know. So knowledge, learn information, frameworks, and empowerment. Yeah. You know, support and coaching, I think, is just so vital on this path of figuring out and navigating what's right and wrong for you, and what's appropriate for you in the moment, so you can keep moving forwards. And what got you here won't get you there. And this is why there's so, it is, I mean, we've all have it. It's a human condition where we don't see the blind spots, but someone else outside of ourselves can always see the blind spots. And it's so helpful to get a second or third perspective on it, so we can see what we're missing and add or subtract what we need to in order to move forwards. So, you know, getting coached on how to get to the next level. You know, inside our program, we have next level programs. So we help people get healthy, and then we start help people start living again and integrating back into life. And what does that look like? And what type of life do I want to create? And it's incredible the transformations that happen within, you know, 12 to 16 months when we work with our members, because what they thought what was once not possible is now possible, and they're living it. And they're, you know, they're a new person. It's incredible. They're living a new life. You know, taking appropriate action. There's, you know, I was so stuck for years on inaction, on not knowing what to do. And so I was stuck, and I was basically getting stale, right? My body deconditioned. I wasn't moving forwards in the right way. And my immune system went down, and it was terrible. And it wasn't until I started to get the building blocks going and focusing on a holistic approach that everything started to get better again. And, you know, I built my health up and was able to start living again, and have been well for 15 years now, longer, 7 to 18 years now since chronic fatigue syndrome, which is crazy. Direction and accountability. You know, we need that in our lives. That's what I paid years ago with my mentor. I've had a few actually over the years, but back then it was just to get that direction and that like constant coming back and, okay, I'm doing the right things, and oh yeah, I'm seeing progress, and oh, my muscles are getting more toned again, and things like that. Direction and accountability, yeah. And then the last thing I've written here is dreams, visions, and values. So what's your vision, what's your value, and then integrating that back into life, like moving forwards with that. So you can see here, like, this is the stuff that seems, what I've seen over the last 10 years, especially the last 2 years since we've upgraded our program to this high level, you know, intimate setting where we really help every single member make the necessary changes they need to make. It's incredible what happens when they start to focus on what their vision is and what they value, and then moving towards that appropriately. But I don't think, you know, having it all is important. And so, you know, whether it's a program, whether it's a video, whether it's YouTube, whether it's talking to people or a group that you're in, these are the kinds of things that you might want to be aware of, because your environment really does affect how you feel. And by looking at this stuff, it's kind of pretty valuable. And there's lots, you know, these videos are free. You know, if you can't actually afford to actually financially invest in a program or a mentor or a coach or whatever, there's so much great information on the internet. It's just about actually being disciplined and applying the work. And, you know, obviously programs and coaching makes it easier. Now, I want to quickly read out to you. Let's see the wins here. I can't really show you directly. I'll cover the names up here for privacy reasons, but you can see every single Friday we do an accountability check-ins, and we've had 232 comments, which is just pretty damn cool. Let me read this out for you. So this is just an idea, you know. So, you know, one of our members, the last 2-3 weeks, I've been watching the nutrition modules. I've been eating more 4 small nutritious meals, snacks each day before 7 p.m. to reset my circadian rhythm. It has definitely made a difference, and I've been feeling less unwell after eating. You know, and there's like 25 likes on it. And you know, we've got Ian from New Zealand says, just done a week of the intermediate restorative stretching with Sarah once a day. Never done this before, but I really need it, and I'm looking forward to being a lot more flexible. Even my children think it's a good idea. Thanks, Sarah. You know, and it's like everyone's like, Nicola's like, that's so cool. Jess is like, that's great. You know, one of our members caught up with a friend, and now they're going to make it a regular thing because it felt so good. Yeah. Another lady who's bounced back really well from a sinus infection, so her immune system's getting stronger. Again, it's what we focus on is really important here. You know, we've got one client who's starting to eat really well again. She's starting to have longer conversations. She's dealing with her emotions better, and she's making and following through with some good decisions. So again, we're talking about accountability here, and all these things kind of get, you know, it kind of helps you move forwards faster. Vivian says, managed to travel for the first time in over a year to out of my own region and spend a weekend away with a friend. Huge win. You know, and it just gives so much hope. What else we got here? So many. Annika says, it's Friday already. Wow, what happens with the days? So for her, you know, self-awareness and not feeling guilty about saying how she feels and setting some boundaries, you know. We had one girl from Berlin, I think it is, or Germany actually, who's got some blood test results back, and her blood levels are showing amazing improvement 6 months into doing the program, which is really cool too. So big change in her overall blood analysis, which is really fascinating. You know, what else? We've got people being more organized, you know, eating breakfast within the first hour. We've got a whole cookbook and stuff inside the program, but she's talked about the yummy banana pancakes that we have in our cookbook, which is purely healthy and again, whole foods. You know, we've got one girl who's saying, I've noticed how much I've been able to do over the last week with some big improvements. I've tried to be more strict on my working hours and using breathwork throughout the day. For the first time in ages, I felt like I still had energy after a day of work and went for a 30-minute walk, then cooked dinner in the evening. Okay. I woke up feeling really good the next morning. So you can see, you know, we've got even clients saying, you know, I fell off the horse the last few weeks. Now I'm coming back on and it feels good to be back here. You know, another one is my win is starting to find my baseline by getting into the habit of asking myself what is appropriate for how I feel right now. So as you can see, all of this stuff is kind of, you know, it's all really painting the picture on where the focus and attention is. Now for these people, they're starting to really notice progress and results because they're surrounded by that. And this whole program encompasses results. You know, it's about what can I do and what's right for me right now to take the right action. And again, it's not like this video is not about the program. Okay, I'm just giving you examples of, okay, because that's the one that we've got right for us. But ultimately, you can see the difference between the two types of people, and it's a process, and we all go through it. And like I said, some people get stuck there, and they never go beyond the self-responsibility of moving forwards. You know, and going, wow, it's actually nothing outside of me can fix me, but I can help myself. And again, you know, a lot of our members have their GPs on board and they're working with us. We've even had doctors from Stanford University call us and work with us in our program and see what it's all about, and they love it because ultimately it's not your doctor's responsibility to fix you. They don't have the time. A lot of them don't really have the understanding and the practical skills to teach you what to do, how to tune into your body, how to stop pushing and crashing, and actually spend time. We have literally 2 coaching calls every single week for all our members across 51 countries. Now, it's a bit unfair for to put the responsibility on your doctor, who only gets to see you for probably 15 to 20 minutes max, to teach you this stuff, which is so in depth. We have 25 hours worth of coaching videos split into 15, 10-minute section, 10-minute videos, okay, on every aspect of health and recovery. And so I just want you to maybe have a look and just reassess, you know, how you're going about things. And ultimately, whatever you're doing, as long as it's providing you value and moving you forwards, then I think it's worth continuing doing, you know. It's not up to me, it's up to every single individual to make that decision. However, I just wanted to do this video to bring some attention to an important topic that I think needs to have some light on. because unfortunately, like I went through for 2 years, and it was almost out of that hell and suffering for those 2 years that actually inspired me, that gave me the energy and the purpose to go on and get better and then create what we've created, because I didn't want anyone else to have to go through what I did on my own. And also my parents. It was extremely excruciatingly painful. And financially, like that was just one aspect of the pain, and that was really the least painful, funnily enough, even though it was a hell of a lot of money. But ultimately, a good investment is when you get a return of investment back and you feel good about it and it's helping you move forwards. And I think that's probably the most important thing you could do and ask yourself is, am I getting a return of investment here? What am I getting out of this? What do I need? And what's going to help me move forwards? So I hope this video helps. I'll leave some free trainings for you down the bottom, which might even be useful for you. And yeah, I'll speak to you soon. Take care.